we have had a great week with ETH. I have refound my appreciation for ETH as a coin to be TAing, because it had beautiful levels that it kept or broke, and it showed us in advance where we're going. Like today, when ETH was holding the level so nicely, it gave me confidence to stay in my XRP and Bitcoin longs, and confirmed what I had anticipated in terms of waves up. Now we are sort of like at a moment of choice, because we have been in this sideways channel in ETH for I think almost a month. So we've been trading this up and down. This is where I'm really happy, because this is where a lot of people get wrecked, and it's actually there was profit being made here. So I'm really happy about that. Sideways is quite tricky to trade, and you can see a lot of the candles retracing to almost the same level. So you're like, is my trade going anywhere? You have to zoom out and constantly check. So we are on the daily, we are in this sideways channel. We have two options from here. Now I try to be as flexible as I can with my lines. So I'll move this line over here to reflect the current price action. So we are at the moment in this descending wedge. I will readjust my target as per the, and I'll go straight to the middle, because that's where I usually go to make sure I take the profit, and I'll put it here, somewhere around here, not so wonky, and that would be 819 if we drop out of this wedge. If we break upwards, and again I'm giving you that possibility because we're coming into Friday. Fridays can be very volatile. So if this Friday creates pump momentum and we break this line on the daily and we hold this line on Saturday, we might have a chance coming into Sunday, Monday, the next week to have one of these, and this would be absolutely beautiful. This would be the breakout trade. It would be a 30% pump. Now, worry not, because this will happen over the course of a week, so we will need to have that confirmation on the 4-hour or the 12-hour or even the day. And even if we get into such a trade later, there's still plenty of profits to be made. So this is sort of like our bigger picture that we need to have in mind. Now, in terms of the trades that we had this week, here they are. I anticipated 2 regular trades and 1 breakout trade. We haven't had yet the breakout trade. We might be in the middle of a semi breakout trade, but it's not the big breakout trade. And also, I'll tell you, I marked them green and orange, and the green is the trade that went on textbook like this one. It had a back test, came down, back tested, held, came down, met the target, and the target was set according to the previous level of support and resistance. So one level down. Now the signal for this trade was the back test holding. So even if you miss, for instance, this entry, then this entry here, this moment here, this back test of the previous support and it failing is a great great entry. There was no trap in this trade. There was no caution advice or anything. It was just textbook level range trading. The second trade was a little bit trickier, because the second trade had the level broken, and then we just kept the same level. Again, this is an example of how the level is kept for the next 2 hours. And if we're trading on the 1 hour, we're taking our signals on the 15 minutes. So if we're looking at the 15 minute, the market hasn't gone anywhere for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. It's now I would be a little bit worried here because it's not backtesting the previous support. But then again, if it's not going anywhere, and if we had where is it? Right about here. So here would be the tricky part. Yes. Because the RSI on the 15-minute and the stock RSI are in the oversold, and it still kept coming down. However, here it wasn't the 15-minute or even the 1 hour leading this drop. It was the 4 hour. Yes, even the 1 hour was in the, I remember I don't trade ETH, but I was trading Bitcoin and XRP. Yes, there it is. It was the 4 hour RSI here, the regular one that needed to come to the bottom. So the RSI needs to go, if it came out of the range for the peak, it will come out of the range for the bottom. You can check here, and sometimes it even does it the same amount of times. For instance, here it had 1, 2, 3, 4 peaks out, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, well, had more bottoms because we are in a trend, an overwhelming amount of bottoms. But when we start having a bit more regular movement, you will see that generally the number of times it goes out and it comes down is the same. But it was the 4 hour MA. I remember as well. So I will summarize my ideas. So here the trick was entering on the RSI, because you wouldn't have entered on the RSI on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, as they were already in the oversold. The RSI on the 4 hour needed to come down, and we had this crossing of the MAs on the 4 hour that indicated further downward movement. I remember having the session in the morning and telling you, listen, something big is coming, because this is not this, even a conservative crossing of these MAs had like a 5% drop. And I think ETH here did the biggest drop of them all. ETH here had like a 10% drop from here, from where it crossed. So that would have been the leading factor of this. Going in on a long here would have been wrong, because you wouldn't be checking in with a bigger time frame. So if you're trading on the 1 hour, check on the 4 hour. What is the trend on the 4 hour? And if the 4 hour has had one of these crosses, I call them golden or death crosses. I know there's the 20 and the 200 that generally are called like that, but again, it's my way of signaling this kind of change. But anyways, this to me means there's more downwards movement. So, and if that happened and the MAs went like this, separated, and there was no like here a little bit of a how can I say, a little bit of a curving motion the other way around, then that means the trend will continue. Even here, so here where it retraced quite fast, it was an 8% pump after they crossed. So that was the tricky part here. That was the trap here. There were two traps here. That was the first one, the major one. The second one was taking profit, because here you see it bottoming out on the 1 hour. If you see it bottoming out on the 1 hour and it's so close to your target, but it doesn't reach it, so you see the market 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours staying in the same place, take your profit. Take your profit, even though it's really close and it did reach it. You don't want to go through this, almost getting close to your entry point or even getting in the red to come down. You don't want to do it. So please take the profit. Watch the trades. If you're trading on the 1 hour, you have to watch the trades, especially now, since we're getting into, and I will expand the ARK now, because the ARK has a different setup now. We're getting into the final part of this wedge. We're getting into the final part of this wedge. So it's getting very, very volatile from now onwards, and it's very volatile in a very tight space. So I'd say, you know, if perfect. So getting very volatile in a tight space means taking your profits sooner, or if you want to, for instance, do a trade now, getting into a good position. So the edge of the arc or this line, if you see it topping out, would be good positions for shorts. You give it some time. If it goes the other way around, you take your loss and you go with it, because it's a beautiful 30% lift on the daily. That lift might take maybe a week to complete, but it will be a good payoff. So you need a good position now. You're trading for position now. You're not trading for swings now, because we're preparing for a breakout. It's the final part of this daily wedge. So this what happened in these two trades down might have been two things. First, it might have been a fake out if it decides to go upwards. So if this wedge decides to go upwards towards the 1500 region, or it might have been just an expansion of the range, and now we're gonna come up, either top out here, and again that would be a perfectly valid line, leaving a little bit of the wicks and a little bit of the peaks out, or coming up to here, touching this line, and then coming back down. So again, on Monday we'll probably have more details when I do the weekly trading analysis. Again, tomorrow we'll have more details depending on what's happening tonight in the Asian market. But what I can again tell you in terms of the post-trade analysis is, watch out for the 4 hour. If you're trading the 1 hour, watch out for the bigger 4 hour trend. You don't, of course, knowing the daily trend is essential, but if the 4 hour had an event like an MA crossing, please don't ignore that. Don't just take the signals here because it's bottomed out on the 1 hour and the 15-minute. That means we're gonna reverse and go up. If the 4 hour had that crossing, it will have an effect. Now, the other then this again, and the second lesson from this trade: take your profits earlier. Now this has gone up. It had a big volatility spike here. It wicked and reached the target. So even if you were waiting for your ego to be satisfied and have the line there, no issues. But the lesson is, don't do it again. Take your profits here. Taking profits earlier is the word of the game when you're trading this. When you're trading this and it hasn't broken any of the bottom or the top line for breakout, if the breakout hasn't been confirmed, take your profits. Now, the third trade from this line to this line, very again textbook. There was it was just holding the line. Let's go into the 15-minute. Here we had a little bit of a small trap. I traded this on Bitcoin yesterday, and what I did was, to me, this wick down was really it was telling, because I was like, what's going on? This is not okay. This is too fast. I was shorting, so I took my profit here in both of my Bitcoin and XRP trades. But then I waited here for a while until it confirmed to hold some support. And I was telling Michael about that. When I have been liquidated trying to catch something like this. I have been liquidated trying to catch a reversal from a violent move down, which is called trying to catch a falling knife. I've been liquidated, so that's why I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait and have the support on the 15 confirmed, have the, for instance, the stochastic RSI going up, have the regular RSI going up, have maybe a little bit of support on the 1 hour as well. Like the VWAP or the 20. And I remember for Bitcoin, I did half, like I took profit for half of this trade because I entered somewhere around here. I still took like 40% profit, which is great. Like you're trading 2 coins, you're getting 40% in each. It's 80% a day. That's brilliant. But what I would advise here is wait for confirmation in terms of volatility. Wait for the 1 hour support to be held. It needs to hold. And then again, take your profit early. Here again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The market doesn't go anywhere. Sure, you might say, yeah, but it only retraced and then hit the next level. Great, happy days. But what if it hadn't? What if this had been the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Because that's why this morning I was telling Roy, after I finished the session, he said, what do you think? What's it gonna do? And I said, it's gonna do another leg up. And he said, no, it's already done the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said, no, it's gonna, looks to me like there's the 1 hour needs to reset and there's gonna be another leg up. And that was it. But then you can enter here, which is what I did for Bitcoin. We have now the knowledge to see consolidation. So here, this one here, the way it held this bottom, this support line, and I'll take you to, I just love TA so much because it's just, it most of the times, 90% of the times, it doesn't lie. It shows you what is. Like, it held it so nicely. And that's why I was saying I was confident to stay today in my Bitcoin and XRP long, because of what ETH was doing here. It was holding hour after hour. It was holding the range beautifully. And it hadn't even, I switched on the trader's reality. And here was it's really interesting because these things change, but when it really matters, it's perfect confluence. Like my line that has been here for the past 10 days, 2 weeks, is the same today as the pivot point. The pivot point is the PP is the point where the market sentiment changes. You break the pivot point, there's more downwards movement. You hold the pivot points, there's more upwards movement. So here it was, the range being held. The line was being held. So there was volatility up and down in these candles like crazy, almost lulling, you know, like almost hypnotic, putting you to sleep so that you abandon your trade. But it did hold and it did go up. I made a little face here. Let me remove it. There we go. So that was this one here was again textbook, but you had to wait for confirmation, and here you had to enter on holding support. Yes, if I am to be like a super 100% hold your rules range trader, I would have said, when this range is broken, go in. But I'm not just a range trader. I look at the impulses, and when I saw that range measuring is not only what I do, or pattern trading is not only what I do. When I saw that this hadn't broken, no, it's here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't break this, not even the wicks. They didn't break that. I said, okay, great. This is the consolidation for this. Now, I didn't expect it to go so far. Bitcoin and XRP did more considerate moves. ETH shot up. Super big move. And again, I would have traded this only to this level because it would have been the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I expected. But again, from here to here, it's another 3%. From here to here, 8%. From here to here, 6%. And from here to here, 3%. 6, 3, 9, 8, 17, 3, 20. 20% this week. Now, with all the entries and the exits taken earlier or later entries, earlier exits, I made about 1.4x this week. Because you leave something on the table, like if the max profit is 2, you have to leave at least 30%. I would, again, I think as a beginner, even if you, as a beginner, I used to leave about 50% initially on the table, sometimes even 60%. I was just happy to get my 20 or 30%. Until I got used to the ranges, until I got used to being patient, until I got used to seeing proper rejection. Now, in these volatile times, even if you had taken only 20% from these, you would have had an 80% profit this week. So that's how much can be made in a volatile week. It was a very volatile, like look how much volatility we had over the course of 4 days. Here, we didn't have that much. Here, we didn't have that much. Here, we didn't have that much. Here, we had it. So not all the weeks are like that, but it's good to be prepared. It's good to have these levels in mind when the week starts. Now, I'm just going to write these lessons really quickly here in the text so that I post them in our chart analysis. So in the chart analysis, I'll post the text. I'll post this so that you have a record of this. So the first, I'll move the box here. Number 1 is look for any 4-hour MA crossings that would hold the trend down when the RSIs are at the bottom. Because sometimes we are like, why is this happening? Because it's the bigger time frames taking charge of the move. Second, take your profit if you see 2-3 hours of holding price action. And of course, it's not just holding price action, it's also the fact that the RSIs had bottomed out. So on the 15 here, they were floored. And RSIs are backing up your decision. So if you're going down and the RSIs are down and the price action hasn't moved in 2-3 hours, take your profit. And third is how can I put that together? Go in on range holding, especially at 3 o'clock, especially around 3 p.m. Yes, New Year starts 2:30 for you guys, for London. New York starts 2:30. Yes, around 3 p.m. go on range holding, either as resistance or support. I wish TradingView had an error correct. Okay, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna put some spaces. Can I put some spaces in? I think I can. Okay, so it's good to have the lessons, because again, when I started trading, I used to do a post-trade analysis for each of the trades, and I would write what went well and what went wrong. You know, where was the trap, and that helped me a lot, because at the start of each trading day, I would check my notes and have fresh in my mind the lessons that I learned, and it accelerates the learning. And it might sound totally geeky. I take that, no problem with that. If it makes you successful, you can be as geeky as you want. That's the Ethereum trades. Do you guys have any questions about the Ethereum trades? No. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, this one here looked like it was coming all the way down. I would again, just one note and then I'm done with Ethereum. This one here, as it turned, it looked like it was done. That's why it's essential to, you could have made some profit here as well, a little bit of profit here as well. If you had shorted here, this level holds as resistance, you start shorting until you go, oh shoot, I have 3 hours of holding this range. This range, if you go way back, or if you go to the 15-minute level, this is a strong support level. Every time it holds this range, visits the next one. So here I would have taken my profit, stepped out until you saw what was going on. You can still go in here if you want. You can still go in here after it's coming out of this 15 or 5-minute sideways channel. When it breaks this range and it starts going up and you see the RSIs going up and rehabilitating on the 15-minute, happy days. But here it was I think what was the most convincing thing here was the RSIs floored on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. Here they were coming from this period of being very much in the oversold. Ethereum is not that much in the oversold, but XRP and Bitcoin looked dreadful, and I was like, there's no way this is going to come down any lower with the way RSIs are right now. They're too way in the down. Okay, that's it. These are the 3 lessons, 3 things to keep in mind for next week when you're trading Ethereum. Again, I was really impressed with Ethereum. I promise myself to respect it more as a coin in terms of TA. I don't find it just boring. I now find it a bit more illuminating for the way ahead in direction. Now let's have a look at the Bitcoin trades. Forgot to put another. Now I'm dyspraxic. Dyspraxic people are like dyslexic, but with direction. So left is right, right is left, down is up, up is down, and it is absolutely fascinating to see how much I love breaking patterns. So here I did not use the 1-hour arc for Bitcoin, though I have it. I used the MA chart to do the trade analysis, but that works for this week. I promise to be consistent next week, and I'll keep to the 1-hour arc just to make it nice and neat. Bitcoin had a nicer way of holding the line. This is a. I'll go back. I'll go into the not the 1-hour arc. I'll go into my 15-minute channels. there we go. And I'll switch to the 4 hour because there was a lot of. Okay, so we had this channel. I had this line a little bit lower. I had it here. Yes. So we came. No, I'll go. Sorry, guys. Because I broke the pattern, I'm gonna use this one. So when we started the week, we were somewhere around here, and I was shorting, and I said, if you see the 20 on, no, the 20 on the 4 hour. Let me just double check. No, it was just the 10 on the 4 hour that rejected this. The 50 on the 4 hour rejected. God's sake, that's it. So the 50 on the 4 hour rejected this. You go. There's probably going to be another leg down, probably to the bottom of this. Now, again, to be more conservative, because we have a long-term trend line that's going diagonally rather than horizontally, I would be, again, I said I'm going to put the target here. And then when it breaks this long-term line, I'm going to extend it to the next level of support. And I said, okay, let's put it here. We had the same. This trade was textbook rejection of the 50 coming down to the first line of support, and it was a great trade to make, 4%. Here was the second trade, breaking this long-term trend line, coming down to the next level of support. Here I made it more conservative. However, there's that orange tick. We didn't come, like, this one was a 4 hour. This one was tricky because it was that spike of volatility, terrible. So we were en route here, shorting, happy days. I was asleep when this happened. It was so good. It was so good that I missed that. I only woke up when this was happening. I was like, yay, super. So I was taking my power nap and I woke up and this had happened. Now, this would put you in the red, and it would put you in the red considerably. That's why I'm so careful about leverage, and I wouldn't recommend anyone do more than 10x, because imagine you're doing 20x and you're 60% in the red, just like that in 5 minutes. It's nerve-wracking. It's very intense. So here you had a drop. The level was held. Here it signaled a reversal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours at the same level. That signals a reversal. I think this level and this level are very close. And you would have said, okay, we're done. We're going up. Also, we're crossing this line. We're holding this line. What is going on? We're really going up. Are we really going up to this line? Are we really going up to this line? Where are we going? Very confusing. The volatility here was very confusing. Now, luckily, it did spike up, which was a stop loss hunt at the start of New York, and then no, New York hadn't started here. New York started here with the down. Let me just check on the 15-minute, guys, because I just want to see. So New York started here with the swivel candle, which was the second bottom. Very good. So London puts one leg down, New York puts another leg down, and here on the 15-minute we make a double bottom. We'll go into the, let me go into the 15-minute chart. I find this, I'm enjoying this session so much, because it's all about learning from very practical situations that we've just lived. So I wish someone did that. I got the idea, to be perfectly honest, I got the idea from my first ever crypto course. There's a guy called Crypto Jack. He sells his crypto course for like 700-800 quid. And that was my first course that I bought, and he was just showing in 10-minute videos, channel trading, range trading, very basic techniques. But then he showed one trade that he did, and he did a post-trade analysis. And then when I was at the gym the other day, I was like, we could do that. We could do post-trade analysis. So going in here on the 15-minute, this wick down, floored the RSIs, which is generally what they do. Then we had the second one. We did not have, here it was tricky because we don't have our favorite bullish divergences. On the contrary, here the RSI is tricky. However, we do have where is it? Sorry guys, sorry. Where's my MAs? There. What we do have here on the 15-minute is gaining support on the 5 MA, gaining support, keeping it. I would say here, when I see this double bottom, if I don't trust the RSI, because there might be times where I don't trust the RSI because it's not as low and it doesn't have that bearish divergence, go for the support. Again, you still need the RSI to go with you. You still need the support on both the 15 and the 1 hour to be in confluence. So here, after 2 hours, it had got above the 20 on the 1 hour, so it was really pushing. And then here in these times of sideways volatility, I do find traders reality to be good. I didn't have any vector candle here. Yeah, but sometimes they're really good. Like for instance, today here, this vector candle, this blue vector candle signaling reversal, really pulled it out. There were 2 others here, so you could have entered here, you could have entered here, but here was where the range is truly broken. Anyways, going back to the trade. So the lesson here is, if you are in a trade where it breaks this long-term support line and then holds this, please take your profit, close the position, and wait for confirmation. And you will wait for confirmation for the 5, for the 10, even if you want the 20 to hold, and you go with it, and then you see it doing something like this. Where's my line? There's my line. So you see it going your way. Let's say you entered somewhere around here. You entered on this line. You waited for all the confirmations, the MAs, and the support and resistance, and you've lost all of this. So you've lost the triple bottom chance to enter. You've entered on the line, and you've entered on the MAs. And it goes your way, happy days. It holds the structure, it pumps up, and then in one 5-minute candle, it does this. If you see a violent pump up, 10 minutes going up, 5 minutes coming down, breaking this line, please close the trade. Like if you had been in this long going in from here, and this had happened, it would have been like a 40% in the red situation, and then you had all of this to get back, but this could have actually been, this here could have actually been the spill out of this. So this is really tricky situation. So you would have lost, you had seen this pump up and this pump down, the whole thing was 40% loss. You probably would have closed somewhere around here or here, max 20% loss. But in this case, if you're longing I'm really sorry I'm taking you through all of these pages. I'll be super organized on Monday, and I'll hold the pattern. There. Okay, going back on the 4 hour. Okay. Yeah, so you are in this long, going back into the range. It floats your way. It gets rejected at the 20 on the 4 hour. That's clear more clearly if you zoom out. And then it breaks this line again. I can't say it more softly. Get out. Get out. This can be a fake out, but it can also be a breakdown, a retest, and then the massive spill from this wedge. Now it's not yet time for that spill. I think again we needed this lift. Maybe we're gonna go all the way up to here. Maybe we'll see. But this here, I would get out, even if I had to wait. Even if I were to see, you know, this putting me 30-40%, I would take the 40% loss. I will be making it back. Like, you've seen the amount of profit that a week like this gives you. So when this volatility up and down happens and you're forced to take a loss, rest assured there will be the same volatility working your way if you're sticking to your strategy. So if it's not going your way and you see it lifting and then it breaks the trend line again, get out. This rarely happens the way it happened here, to be only 40% and then to take you back to entry point and continue your way. It rarely happens. Speaking from personal experience, because I've stayed in such trades and I had to DCA in pumps of 30 and 40%. I couldn't make profit because I had to DCA. I had gone in on the wrong side. After I learned how to DCA, I was DCAing all the time. I was like, it doesn't matter what entry point I have, doesn't matter anything, I can DCA, I can, you know, work with the market, which is true. But I was losing a lot of profit by not trading because I had my capital trapped in those trades trying to DCA out of there. So please avoid such situations. Take your loss, sit it out, and then see what's going to happen. Because then it will reveal itself. Like it after a couple of hours, this happened, flash down. After a couple of hours, it was holding the 20. It holds the 20 on the 1 hour. Go with it. Go with it to the next level. So yes, you can trade if you're watching this and you're taking your profit here. I took my profit somewhere around here because I saw it bottoming out, so I lost like 30% of my trade profit here. But then I went in, I took my profit here, and today I went in here and I took my profit somewhere around here. So that's step-by-step trading, because I didn't want to be overnight in this, you know, trying worrying that all these retraces won't take me there. So I took it step by step. So that's the lesson that I will put in here. If you see it spiking both ways and breaking a trend line a second time, preferably take a loss and step back until it shows itself. So that would be the lesson here. That would be, again, the same lesson. Take your profit when it bottoms out. Take your profit when it tops out. But the additional lesson would be, if you see it breaking, coming up onto the trend line and breaking it again, don't let yourselves be fooled. You might be trapped. Again, if you're over margined, you can survive these, no problem. But and then you can DCA and improve your. Again, trading is not gambling. It's very flexible. There are flexible strategies that you can use to reduce, to improve your position. And by improving your position, you're going with the market. So there will be a retrace. Like once there will be a retrace, even if you entered here at the top of this thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. So you didn't enter on this candle, you entered on this one. This is amazing. We're holding this. It's still retraced to this point. Sorry, if you entered there thinking that it's gonna come down because it's breaking, that makes sense. If you entered here on this line when it broke, and then you said, okay, we're breaking down, this is breaking down, it still gave you the chance here to leave the short. So the markets, I always said, I noticed that in my earlier days of trading, the market is actually kind. The market is not the enemy. The market gives you three choices, three chances. So if you entered here or here shorting when it broke the support, even here, the market gave you today some chances, but then it held the range. So you might tell yourself, yeah, we're still breaking down. But when you see this trend line being broken, take your loss and get out. Wait it out, or wait for support and go with the direction that the market's going into. So that would be it. The RSI was really helpful today in this trade, because the 4 hour at the moment is all topped out. I don't know if this is gonna keep going, to be honest. 15-minute stochastic has made a recovery here. Yeah, I wanted to show you what was happening today. Today was really boring. London made this big move to the bottom line and then kept it there for 1, 2, 3 hours. It was really boring to watch. But then, so here was the RSI on the 15-minute. No, that's my settings. I'm on 30-minute. So the 15-minute going, my favorite, bullish divergence. So when the 15-minute goes like that, it's definitely time for a bullish divergence. And again, here the stochastic was floored. There was a little bit of discrepancy between what was going on here as is right here, because the immediate momentum is a little bit confused. That's why I like telling myself until I figure out why sometimes there's such discrepancy between the RSIs. I just think that the volatility confuses the momentum. So there was a little bit of confusion here in the RSI. But then it started coming up. This one started coming up as well. And then the big clue here was breaking of the range. Now, my observation for this week in terms of how the trades went was you have to, and I've known that for a long time, you have to, it's either wait to be fully confirmed the move, or you can put 40% of your position in and then DCA in when the move is confirmed. And I did that once this week. I did it here where I told you I really fear going into such high volatile longs after shorts are so powerful, because they can spike you out, especially XRP loves those spikes. But I went in with a 40%, and then when it crossed the 50, I added the extra 60% of my normal position. I am careful with my positions in these times of volatility, because it can, again, if I have to take a loss, I'd rather take a smaller loss and not give back my gains. So yeah, be really careful trading tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be I think it's going to be quite a volatile day. Now the news is not great for the core PPI. Now I don't know too much about that. I've only recently started monitoring the news. I'm a minimalist in life, and I'm a minimalist in trading, and I love the simplicity of being minimalist. So I kept it as simple as I could, but now in the bear market and in an economic crisis, I'm adding more to my technique, because there's more volatility day by day. So it's not just, oh, there's a trend and I'm following the trend and I'm following my channel, because I would follow the arc and the patterns within the arc. That's what I would follow. Even the MAs wouldn't be such a big thing for me. But now I have to refine, I have to add the news, and I have to add the MAs to keep my finger on the pulse in these times of volatility. So I have to adjust. It's my first bear market that I'm trading. So it's interesting for me to see that. So I love this Forex Factory website because it color codes everything. So I look here and I see red, 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 red. I don't think we're going up with all this red. Unemployment claims, core PPI. Now, sometimes these don't hold. Like, for instance, the DXY made on the 1 hour. I'll show you. So Bitcoin pumped like crazy, and XRP as well, and ETH as well. ETH pumped super big, and this is all that the DXY did over the past 4 hours. So I know it went down, but it's still proportionally, this doesn't reflect in the crypto market. Same with these news. So this news, I don't at the moment, I wouldn't have the refinement in my skills to tell you, oh, this is going to manipulate the market this way or that way. I'm just saying it's good to keep an eye on them, and if we see a little bit more red in the news, I wouldn't favor higher prices for crypto, because we're not in a speculative, adventurous momentum and sentiment to say, oh, people are not putting money into, I don't know, more, what are they called? Commodities, yeah, more stable securities. So coming into Friday, again, we are in the tighter space of the arc. I'm waiting to see here what Asia does tonight. My guess is we're gonna retrace from here. We're going to come all the way down. Now, I don't know how far down that is. I believe this is the Bitcoin wedge. I have tweaked it at least 20 times over this past month. So here we are. We could go all the way. We could go all the way up to here, 22, hold the 22, pump to 25. No matter what the YouTubers say, we're not going to 40K anytime soon. So that's one of the scenarios. If we retrace from here, and this was it, which we're gonna probably know tomorrow. Like if Asia doesn't keep lifting it, the only way is down, and the only way is down to this bottom line. And if this bottom line breaks again, I think we're coming down for the famous double bottom. I really hope these are not my last words. But I think that is what's gonna happen. So we'll see what Asia does. If we go up to here during the Asian session, we might be trending sideways for the weekend. We might be actually going, I might have to bring this line back to here, and then the other leg up. So I might have to do that, which I think I will. I'm gonna leave it like that now that I say it to you. But that's where I see it going tomorrow. So if Asia doesn't lift it up higher, and this is it, we're coming all the way down, I would take my profit here, wait to see if this proves itself, and then when this line is confirmed as a breakdown, come down. And the opposite is true as well. If I see it coming up here, I will wait for the 22 to be held. It was broken once, twice, 3 times. Will probably break it for good, but I wouldn't put in as a limit order. I would see it, because I don't want to see it go to 22 just to retrace all the way down and then break down. That would just be heartbreaking, and it would mess a lot of traders up. So that's it from me. That's my that is my my trade analysis. I was just looking at the RSIs. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about your trades? Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any feedback? It's the first session, so I'm just, as a teacher, I'm using my teaching skills to make it as clear as possible and as effective as possible. Because again, I know there are different stages in the learning of a skill. So that's me. What do you guys think?
Very helpful.